Do you really know what you're eating? Is that really honey that you're buying from the store? Is that salmon real salmon? Does that lettuce have any nutritional value left in it that you just bought? If you've never thought these questions, you should. Let's talk about it. I'll be doing a series of live streams soon to discuss this and more. Here's a sneak peek of some of the things. So the reason I want to start doing these videos is to create and encourage a community that takes gardening and life a little bit more serious than what we have been. What sparked me to start this conversation is through my own experiences. I have an athlete of my own, well, two athletes. Both of my sons are athletes, and my past experience with my son trying to make sure that he's not only performing well on the court, but also physically he's able to do those things. And in order for him to do those things physically and have a high level of endurance, he not only needs to do the strength and conditioning, the physical stuff, but what he's putting inside of his body is most important than all of that, right? And that's just not just with the athlete, but with the person in general. What we tried to do years ago was adhere to a certain diet, which was considered an athlete's diet. And it required you to, eliminate the sugars, eat your proteins, of course, drink lots of water, increasing your vegetables, what we consider healthy things, fruits and vegetables, no fast food, fried foods, things like that. And we followed it. And I didn't notice a difference with his performance. I actually noticed that he was still being more tired than what he was when we were just not paying attention to what he was eating. I was just letting him be a normal teenager. In that moment in time, I didn't understand what was going on. I just knew that something wasn't right. Now that hindsight is 2020, knowing what I know now, I wish I would have known this then. But even though we had changed the diet and we're choosing healthier options, the healthier options that we were choosing did not contain the vitamins and the amount of vitamins and minerals and nutritional value of certain things that he needed. As I was growing up, I noticed that athletes had more endurance, more tolerance, more stronger in things on the court. And most of those kids, I knew a lot of kids that were very good athletes, and they weren't really paying attention to their diet. They were just eating, especially those that came from around the neighborhood that I went to. Basically, we weren't fortunate enough or financially stable enough to get top of the line things. So food was scarce in some people's homes, and you would get, the cheap things, or you would be fortunate enough to get, donated food boxes. But those things back then, in that time, they were actually healthy things that people didn't want. They were actually the healthy things and good things. For instance, we used to call them commodity boxes, where you get the government cheese. That was some good cheese. And the peanut butter that came in there, most of those things that were in that box were more close to organic than the things that we are consuming now. Most of the things that were cheaper back then were closer in nutritional value and more sustainable than the items that we're eating now. Majority of the food that we're having now, the nutritional value in that is less to nothing. We're basically just eating fillers, which is why I am so amping up my garden this year. I'm going to grow the things for not only me and my family to eat, but I'm going to be a little bit more intentional on his diet as well, which is one of the reasons why I want to grow my own food. And now I see why it is so important for me to do that, especially knowing what I know now, that even though we're choosing healthier options out of the store, those healthy options do not contain the nutritional value that we need for various reasons, whether it's the percentage of the vitamin or mineral that we need is decreased because the storage or how it's processed or whatever. So the fresher it is, the better it is what I'm finding out. And what better way to have the freshest is than to grow it yourself and be able to go out into your yard and pick it and eat it, or pick it and cook it, or do whatever you want with it. But that's the freshest way, and that's the best way in order to make sure that you get all of that nutrition that your body needs. And your body is just like that garden. Your garden soil has all of these, nutrition in it, everything in it that plant needs, but that plant is only going to uptake what it needs and just leave the rest there. So that's what your body is. You give your body these things, it's going to take up what it needs, and the rest you eliminate it. Essentially, that's how our body is supposed to work if it's functioning properly. I want to start this series to not only encourage parents of not only athletes but non-athletes, people in general, period, how important it is for you to grow your own, whether it be in containers, whether it be an in-ground garden, however you choose to do it. We need to start doing it. And not only are we starting to grow our own, but learn what it takes to grow those things so that the things that you are growing contains those nutritional ingredients that we need to be healthier and more viable. And it'll not only heal our bodies, but heal the environment as well. So I hope you join me on this series and do your own research. Don't take what I say as gospel, but do your own research and comment back and forth with me and bring some things to the table so that we can, do this journey together. Thank you and have a good day.